It's a really nice day because now I want to make a video for my final exam of Human Research Management. Let me introduce myself to all of you. I'm Nurmalia Sari. My student number is B1024191030. I'm the student of International Management. In this semester, I take Human Research Management. My lecturer is Sir Mursalin, and on this good occasion, I would like to answer the question of HRM final exam. The question consists of three parts, namely Part A, Part B, and Part C. Part A deals with my activities in Zoom meeting classroom. Part B deals with the theory of Human Research Management. And Part C deals with the video of HRM. Well, my dear audience, watch me and listen to me carefully. I would like to answer the question on Part A. During this whole semester after midterm, I always attend HRM classes, and when viewed from the history of attendance on the Universitas Tanjungpura present website, I have attended HRM classes for 8 times. As someone who wants to build a business, I have to study human resource management. This is very important to build good and quality human research in a company. If I go through just one day of this HRM class, I think it is very difficult to get material in human research management in other places, and maybe I have to pay a lot to get knowledge about human research management elsewhere. The history of attendance on the Universitas Tanjungpura present website, I have attended HRM classes for 14 times, and there was one time that the attendance code was not given because it was the first week of class starting and there was a technical error. So in total, I have attended 15 times of Zoom meeting of HRM. I have never missed the Zoom meeting of HRM because I am very interested in HRM. There I can learn how to manage employees in a company where I don't necessarily get this knowledge elsewhere. The topic that me and my friend discuss is about spreads leaders from managers. This topic is very important for us because from this we can know that the leader and the manager is not same, and we can know the difference between leader and manager. This is very important too for a company so that companies can know what the difference between leaders and the manager and can put the certain people in their position and provide their duties properly according to their position. If a company doesn't understand the difference between the two things, then the structure in their company will be fall apart because they don't know what position they are in should exist and their duties. I hope that the HRM class in the future will be good, better, and of higher quality. For now, the HRM class delivered by Sir Mursalin is very good and easy to understand, but why not hope to be even better in the future? I really like this course. This course will very help a company to be more advanced because the key of the progress of a company is employees who are treated well by their superiors. I got a lot of new insight for this one semester. There are many things that I didn't think of in human resource management. It turns out that in human resource management there are small but very important and specific things. I used to think that human resource management is just to organize and share their work and guide them in doing their work. It turns out that in human resource management, there are many details such as how to know and understand employees, how to treat employees, what thing we should do as a leaders or manager, and must hold the mindset that we are a team, not a relationship between superiors and subordinates. HRM class really impressed me because there are many things and materials that really help me to build my employees ladder when I have a company. I'm very interested in the material contained in the HRM class. How we should treat employees, what to do, and what not to do is very important to learn in order to get quality employees. I already answered all of the question on part A. Now, I would like to answer the question on part B. In this part consists of two topics. There are cyberloafing and sexual harassment. For the first, I will talk about the cyberloafing. Cyberloafing is behavior that deviates from the purpose of using company or personal internet access for non-work related activities during working hours, such as entertainment, online shopping, internet messaging, posting to new groups, and downloading data or files that are not related to work so that it can reduce employees' performance to complete tasks. The main types of the job. Cyberloafing brings several negative impacts. This behavior can be related in distracting employees' focus, draining company resources or securities. For example, causing slower network performance or computer viruses. Cyberloafing activities have various negative impacts. Their negative impacts include reduced employee productivity, reduced discipline, breach of company confidentiality, and loss of reputation, or personal privacy of the company, and interested bandwidth costs. We also examined gender difference in employees' perception towards cyberloafing in general. Respondents felt that some form of cyberloafing at work was acceptable. Men were also more likely to report that cyberloafing has a positive impact on work compared to women. I don't agree with that statement. See, from the belief that I hold, there is a story that at the time of the prophet that there were several administrators of an area. They said and told about something that was beyond what should be discussed and had absolutely nothing to do with the management of the area. Then the champions of the prophet turns off the lamp that illuminates them because the lamp comes from the residents and is intended for leaders to discuss about the area and not to discuss other things. Therefore, using work facility for things outside of work is a bad thing. Our right to office facilities is what our superiors say for what these facilities are for and not for others. In addition, if we are not good at using a computer, for example, it could be possible for the computer to be exposed to a virus or something else. Sexual harassment is a type of harassment involving the use of explicit or implicit sexual overtones, including of the unwelcome and inappropriate promise or of rewards in exchange for sexual favors. Sexual harassment include a range of action from verbal transgressions to sexual abuse or assault. Harassment can occur in many different social settings such as the workplace, the home, school, churches, etc. Harassers or victims may be of any sex or gender. In most modern legal contexts, sexual harassment is illegal. Laws surrounding sexual harassment generally do not prohibit simple teasing, offhand comments, or minor isolated indicated incident. That is due to the fact that they not impose a general civility code. In the workplace, harassment may be considered illegal when it is frequent or severe, thereby creating a hostile or offensive work environment, or when it results in an advanced employment decision, such as the victim demission, firing, or quitting. The legal and social understanding of sexual harassment, however, varies by culture. It doesn't matter who makes the offense. It could be a manager, CEO maker, or even a non-employee like a client, contractor, or vendor. If the person conduct creates a hostile work environment, makes it difficult for an employee to work, or interrupts an employee's success, it is considered unlawful harassment. Here are some examples of sexual harassment in the workplace and information on how to handle it if you have been harassment at work. The first is sharing sexually inappropriate image or videos, such as a pornography or salacious gifts with workers. And then sending suggestive letters, notes, or emails. Displaying inappropriate sexual image or poster in workplace. Telling without jokes or sharing sexual anecdotes. Making inappropriate sexual gesture. Starting in a sexual, suggestive, or offensive manner, or wastingly. Making sexual comments about appearance, clothing, or body parts. Inappropriate touching, including pinching, patting, rubbing, or forcefully brushing up against another person. Asking sexual questions, such as inquiries about someone's sexual history or their sexual orientation. Making offensive comments about someone's sexual orientation or gender identity. It's all called sexual harassment because the object of the person who does it doesn't want and doesn't feel comfortable with the treatment of the people who do it. Because sexual harassment is not only about rape, but also if we are uncomfortable and don't like something that other people do to us, it is also sexual harassment. I agree with that statement. Why most women who get sexual harassment treatment, because actually the most courageous and confident are men. So a man is brave and feel confident that what he is doing is right and not a mistake. Most men can think clear and restrained, and from what I have seen, that women do not dare to tell others that there was been sexual harassment against themselves. This is also a trigger that for men to be more daring to do things that do not make women feel comfortable. I think that I agree with that statement because sexual harassment is not only about rape, but if we as a woman are catcalled by men, it is considered sexual harassment. Most of this happen If the women do not recognize or are not very familiar with the men who work in the office. This happens in almost every company, maybe mostly in a big company. For me, it is not possible for a leader or manager in a large company to educate their employees one by one. What a leader or manager can do is to set a good example so that it can reflect a good attitude and what should be done. This must continue to be done so that employee can imitate. Personally, I've never experienced that because my boyfriend takes good care of me. But I've seen this happen. For example, when taking a picture of man embracing a woman's shoulder or even holding a woman's hand, and of course the woman feels uncomfortable and even feels threatened. After the event, my friend said to me that she was scared but felt a little calm because at that time it was busy and it seemed impossible for the man to do more than that, but she still felt scared. But things started to subside a little because she felt that the man was her friend and would do nothing more than that. In my opinion, the man did this because he felt that a woman was his close friend, so he felt entitled to do that. The thing that can be learned for this story is not to be close to anyone, especially a man. It is a very appropriate action. We have to tell someone, even voice, that there has been sexual harassment against us if that happens. This aims to stop the perpetrator's action. Even other people who have not been found out that he is also sexual harassing may also stop sexual harassment for fear of being voiced to the general public. Absolutely, a good manager automatically a good leader. The best managers are those individuals who exemplify great leadership traits such as integrity and vision. A lot of managers can get the job done, but the great manager share their vision and allow the group and the group latitude to accomplish their goals. Leadership is about getting people to understand and believe in your vision and to work with you to achieve your goals, while managing is more about administering and making sure the day-to-day things are happening as they should. While there are many traits that make up a strong leader, some of the key characteristics are honesty and integrity are crucial to get your people to believe you and buy into the journey you are taking them on. Vision, knowing where you are, where you want to go, and enroll your team in charting a path for the future. Inspiration, to inspire your team to be all they can by making sure they understand their role in the bigger picture. Ability to challenge. Do not afraid to challenge the status quo. Do things differently and have the courage to think outside the box. Communication skills. Keep your team informed of the journey, where you are heading, and share any roadblocks you may encounter along the way. And then here some of the common trends shared by strong managers are: being able to execute a vision. Take a strategy vision and break it down into a roadmap to be followed by the team. Ability to direct day-to-day work efforts. Review resources needed and anticipate needs along the way. And then process management. Establish work rules, processes, standards, and operating procedures. And the last is people focus. Look after your people, their needs, listen to them, and involve them. When applying Maslow's hierarchy of needs in a workplace, you need to understand the needs and how they impact motivation. Each need builds on the last, allowing a person to feel more fulfilled, which in turn encourage motivation and creative thinking. Maslow's hierarchy are physical needs, safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. The first, I will talk about physical needs. The physical needs in this hierarchy refer to the most basic human needs. Employees need access to vital services and opportunities while at work to feel their most basic needs are being met. And then safety. Safety is another vital need that can impact your overall satisfaction with your workplace. It is natural to worry about your own safety and the safety of your loved ones. The next is love and belonging. The love and belonging level of Maslow's hierarchy is slightly different in the workplace than it is in other areas of your life. If you don't feel a sense of belonging, you may not feel as engaged at work or as motivated to success. The next is esteem. Esteem is the belief that you are contributing to a higher goal and that the contribution you make are recognized. In the workplace, it is important to feel that you're growing, advancing, and achieving results, and that those around you recognize those results. And last but not least is self-actualization. The final level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is self-actualization, which translates to maximizing an individual's potential at work. The big strength of Maslow's needs theory relates of its intuitive nature. Intuitive nature is awareness of emotions. It is this strength that supports practitioners in using the theory despite the lack of supportive evidence. Each person has an individual motivational framework which they work and behave. This framework differs from person to person and even for a single individual for day to day. Practitioners of the theory, those who put it into practice when working within their organizations, understand this flexible, individualized theory as a dynamic solution to motivating members of an organization. Another strength of Maslow's theory is the fact that it focuses on the individual's own constructs and experience instead of focusing on the mentally ill. And then the weaknesses on the other hand, stem from the difficulty of being able to support the theory empirically because of the lack of specificity included in Maslow's theory. It is easily applied in various ways, making it difficult to test and study. Moreover, just as norms between individuals fluctuate, so do norms between cultures. Elements like esteem and self-actualization may have vastly different meanings across different cultures, making it difficult to standardize Maslow's theory and the definition of the components. Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory was developed by American theorists, and research was done only with Americans. Different cultures often value different needs. In collective societies or societies in which family members and other in-group members look after each other in exchange for loyalty, belonging is a basic need, while self-esteem is less important. Not only do different cultures offer different needs, but so do different generations. This day and age, most Americans have their basic needs and belongingness present in the other level of the hierarchy. Therefore, research supports the recognition that Maslow's hierarchy may not accurately represent individual needs in a collective culture. Another weakness to Maslow's hierarchy is the fact that there are exceptions to the theory. For example, what about the firefighter, policemen, and the military, who risk their lives every day to save others? These exceptions show that there are certain types of persons who sacrifice their own basic needs for the welfare of others. It is also possible to achieve self-actualization without having all of your lower needs met, thereby falsifying the theory. For example, there are many artists and authors such as Rembrandt and Van Gogh that live most of their life in poverty that could be argued achieve self-actualization. This is the end of part B. Now I want to talk about part C. In part C consists of 4 videos. I already put the link on the description below. Let's go to the first video. The title of this video is Cyberloafing in the Workplace, the Dark Side. This video talking about what is cyberloafing and what will happen when we do cyberloafing. Why do employees cyberloaf and ways to manage cyberloafing? In this video, they take 2 main forms for the theory that include minor and serious from Blanchard and Hangno. From this video, I can know that because when we do cyberloafing, it can prevent us to not to do cyberloafing, because before we do that, we already know what will happen when we do that. The second video, titled Storytime Sexual Harassment at Work. The owner of this YouTube channel said that she had experienced sexual harassment while at work. What she did was very correct by voicing or telling other people what had happened to her to others. She even uploaded the story to her YouTube channel. But there is one thing I learned in this video, which is about the boss where she works. Her boss really doesn't want to hear complaints of problem what happened to her employees. She just wants everything to be normal and run smoothly. Based on what I have learned during the semester in the HRM class, as a leader, we must listen to employees, especially what problems they are experiencing, because if we don't know and the employees don't want to tell us, the work that the employees is doing will be not optimal. Even we can understand what she has experienced, so that she makes a mistake or does a less than optimal job. The third video, entitled Sexual Harassment in the Workplace. This video explains the various types of sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is not only about touching, but a word can also be sexual harassment. It can happen to men and women and vice versa, or men and women. What I can learn from this video, the most important things is not to do that if we feel uncomfortable if other people do things to us. We must be aware that sexual harassment is not good. The title of this video is Criticism Abraham Maslow Hierarchy of Needs. The content is the speaker is critiquing the Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs. The speakers mention what Maslow means in his theory. The speaker first explain about needs that are mentioned in Maslow hierarchy of needs based on the theory of Pamela Routledge. Maslow means the role of social connection in social network hierarchy. The speakers also critique that the theory is not accurate because it's not certain for anyone. The speakers also add religious need, self-actualization, and needs that keep appearing from time to time. The benefit, this video makes us realize that theory of Maslow is just a theory and not scientifically proved. Therefore, people shouldn't establish someone's needs just based on their theory, because everybody has different needs. That is the end of the last part. We are already at the end of the video, and I have answered all the questions of the HRM final exam which given by Mr. Adi Mursalin. And I got so many new insight when answering all these questions, and hope all of you who watch this video can get the new knowledge too. Thank you so much everyone for watching this video. Have a good day.